Welcome to South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show, the weekly live stream. This is your one-stop shop where we cover everything local about fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover our future marine forecast, our moon phase, and our tide charts. All that goodness covered in this 1.5 hour live stream weekly. All right, folks, like I said, welcome to the show. We got a bunch to go over this week. Got a very active week fishing and some good stuff, some bad stuff. News of the week is daylight savings, right? So if you are a late riser, it gives you a little bit more time to sleep. Sun will start coming up around 7:30. And if you're a late fisherman and you work a 9-to-5 job, hey, when you get off work, you will actually have some daylight to go and get out and get some fish in the boat, get a line in the water, see what you can catch. It's good for yellowtail fishing, good for that tuna bite that's going to show up in June also. You get a little bit, go out in the afternoon and see if you can get you one of those. All right, so let's get right into this. We're going to go over our fishing report. Weekly fishing report. Here we go. Inshore, sheep's head, pompano, still biting, tarpon still biting, snook, all the goodness. The bait, the shrimp run is pretty much done, kaput. So we're going to have other baits start showing up, which will be good here in June. Obviously, it's still a little ways out. The filtered run will happen. We'll have sardines show up. Also, let's see, we got redfish is also biting. I got a picture here of nice little redfish. This was posted by Fishfinity, and I asked him where the guy caught it, and no reply, but still a nice little redfish. Typically, those are southwest coast in the shallows, all up and down the west coast, I'd imagine, Naples, Chokoloskee. You also get them up north. So redfish. So that's our inshore stuff. It hasn't changed much in the past week. The pompano are starting to show up more than they were. The sheep's head, they're biting solid. That's a dock fishing thing. And the also inshore over down in Biscayne area, the mangrove snapper bite is going good. Inshore too down in the Keys, the mangrove snapper bite is going good. Let me show you here something I got for the mangrove snapper. A nice little reel. Here we go. This is Alex. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick for you. Alex is a captain down in Marathon. So that is, let me see if we can play that real quick. There we go. Just a cutting table full of mangrove snappers right there. Like I said, Alex is a captain down in Marathon. Nice solid catch off his boat for his customers. And those are, that's an inshore catch right there going on. So not much else for the inshore stuff. It's really, if the more information I get fed to me, the easier it is. But this time of year, we're heading into spring, so you're going to have the tarpon bite is definitely picking up, especially in the lower keys, snooks, all around your docks. And like I said, sheephead, redfish. All right, now we're going to head on and do the reef. The reef is coming to life. We're heading into spring. We got a solid mutton snapper bite going on still. Mutton snapper, porgy, also the yellowtails and the ceros. We've got Spanish mackerel and bluefish. That could be a little bit of an inshore thing too. Also, let me show you that as a matter of fact. Let me see if I got that going on here. Where would I find that? That'll be on our Facebook page. Here we go. Spanish mackerel here. A load of Spanish macs and bluefish. Great job right here. Orlando caught this. He caught it on my favorite lure, white bucktail jig from Spro. Excellent. Great choice right there. So that's your inshore bite. All right, we'll head off to the reef. Like I said, the mutton snapper and the porgy. Dennis sent in picture, nice mutton snapper. I got something interesting going on here in a little bit. I'll get it to you. Let me see. Here we go. There it is. Nice mutton snapper, jumbo size porgy right there too. He even he sent me a picture of it being cooked, which is great. Let's see if I can show you that. Got a great sense of humor there when it comes to showing what's going on. There we go. It's always great to see the outcome of it. And this is porgy on the grill. Very nice. Look at that. Delish. Anyway, all right, let's move forward with our reef report. So, the reef report, like I said, porgy, the mutton snapper bite is coming to life again. This is the effect of El Nino. We've got a lack of natural bait, which is pushed away from, naturally pushed by the Gulf Stream. Our cooler water is being pushed by the Gulf Stream. The warmer water is sitting in. The warmer water from El Nino is what is displaced all throughout the world because of the heating up of the Pacific Ocean. So if you haven't watched it yet, I did do an episode this past week on El Nino, what it is, how it affects everything, and what it does to our fishing. It is this, if you go to the YouTube page, it's this one, bright yellow. It shows everything, it goes over a ton of information of what El Nino does to the ocean, to the atmosphere, and then it also talks about how it directly affects us here in Florida, and what I think is happening with our fishing here. Do I cover the east coast of Melbourne? I get up there if I'm sent pictures and I get the info about Melbourne and a little bit north. Yes, of course I'll cover it. I do cover I try to get a little bit of the whole coast when it comes to doing the weather report. That's what I do. I try to share a little bit of that information. So if you send me some pictures, Lawrence, yes, we'll make sure that we get it on the show. Okay, mutton snapper bite. Yes, lane snappers, mangroves. Again, if you're not getting into the bite going shallower, 30, 40, 50 feet, the lanes and the muttons are going to be there. Spanish mackerel, yellowtail, and the cirros. Like I said, the cirros are showing up. I got a nice picture here of a cirro. Actually, it was sent in day late and $1 short from last week, but that's okay. Here is Jerome with a nice cirro. Go. Got that nice little cirro. He caught that down in the Keys, I believe, is what he said. Off of Key Largo on a 4.6 planer and 120 feet. So yeah, that's deep reef trolling right there. Nice job. So what do we got? What else we got? That's it for the reef. Oh, another thing that's shown up on the reef, which is nothing. Oh, right here, another great one. It's got some yellowtail fishing going on. This was sent in by Lafayette Malone on Facebook. Got a coming hotel. Kind of see him there. Going down some handballs. Got a yellow jacket and photo right there. The other one. Goes on the water. Mass amount of yellowtail. So what he says in his comment is if you come, they will come to next trip. If you're not coming for those yellowtails, they're not going to go. Let me go for that. Monkeys like that. That's something. So we'll move forward there. Always good to have folks sending in their catches. And like I just said, we got the tax man really trying to show up. Here's another picture. Nice, looks like a little sharp nose. Taxman, you're gonna pay taxes sometimes. Whether it's if he's getting your bait. There's another one. Looks like you got a trolling lure right there, or you got a fish that we're winding up. These are sent in by Jerome. Taxman cometh. What else do we got going on here? That's it. And we'll hit up some trolling here in a moment. So that's our reef. Okay. So in general, the reef is, like I said, coming to life. We got zero mackerel and yellowtails in the mix. If you're doing that sort of chumming, if you're drifting, the mutton snapper bite is starting out just as solid as it was last year. Last year we had this epic mutton snapper bite that seemed to be endless. We've also got in shallower, the lanes and the mangroves. Anywhere sporadically, you will run into the port. And then again, the last thing that we showed was the Spanish mackerel and the bluefish. All right, now we're going to move on. A little bit of a deep dropping, right? Everybody likes a little bit of deep dropping, and if you don't, I recommend you at least give it a shot sometime. It never hurts. So what we got deep dropping, as usual, we know our tilefish is closed for a while. Blue line tilefish will open up in September, I believe, and golden tilefish is shut down till next year. Grouper season is on the way. May 1st starts, and then we can start getting our snowies, our blacks, our gags, all that goodness. Of course, if you are on the West Coast, red grouper and black grouper are open year round. So here we go. Let's look at our deep dropping picture of the week. This is off the drift boat Fish City Pride out of Pompano Beach. A bucket load, solid bucket load of vermilion snappers. So that's your deep dropping. Vermilion snappers, remember, they are caught in 300 or so feet off structure. You kind of got to hunt around for them and find them. And when you're on them, you pull up. If you get into the bite with them, you pull them up, you're going to have to probably go and chase them a little bit. They're more than likely kind of moving around to the north with the current when you're out that deep. All right, next thing, we're going to hit up our trolling. We are still having mahi-mahi show up early, which is good. And again, I kind of believe this is due to the lack of a natural food source caused by El Nino. Speaking of El Nino, before we go further with the trolling, if you haven't noticed, we finally seem to have pushed out of this wet spell. We are now into drier air, which is good. It's gonna, the seas are gonna start calming down, and you're gonna start being able to get out more often, which can't hurt the rest of this week. As a matter of fact, which we'll go over our weather report in a minute, is looking fairly promising. Back to trolling, mahi are showing up. Still on a epically hot tuna bite. This, I got a picture right here. This one was sent in by Sean. This is from up in Stewart, which is going to prove a point here. Nice blackfin right there. Solo trip out he did. Went home with and made some sushi. Actually posted and shared that. So the blackfin are showing up. I got another blackfin picture here. Give me a second. It's from Mike Long. Here we go. He had two big ones. The tuna that are showing up are massive size. But then again, they're also the footballs. But these couple here that he got into those are big boys for blackfins down in our area. Now, also the blackfins are also coming in football size. They're really showing up, and there's a real good bite going on with them. Let me show you that. We got a picture from the Bolo with they got a wahoo some, maybe a little bit bigger than football size black fins going on. We'll see. But this is just showing you more of our trolling. These are deep reef creatures, right? Got a wahoo there, nice, double digit 20 pounder, and then some solid 8 pound, 10 pound tunas. Great catches. So the deep reef is very much alive. It's doing its thing. The wahoo, the blackfin. Also in the reef, we've got reports of kingfish and false albacore. Here we go. This is this picture right here. Let me show you. Somebody's going to be making some bonita strips. This was sent in by Howard. We got king mackerel right here and 3 bonita strips. Hey, cool. You don't got to buy them. You can make them. So he's got some smoking on the grill to do and some chopping up and bait to make. Perfect. So this is what we're getting at with this, is the reef is coming to life. We're heading into spring. We've got the wahoo still biting hard like they have been for over the last 6 months. The blackfin tuna have showed up in force. We've got the big ones and the mix of the little guys. We've also got dolphin, the mahi. They're showing up. I've had reports. Somebody told me they were seeing them out in 800 feet. I've also seen them in as close as 250 last week. Mike posted a picture of a good cow he caught in 80 feet of water. We've also got sailfish going on. Nice solid sailfish bite. Let's see. Here we got Juan from Killing Time Charters. Made a post of sailfish. Yeah, going on. Here we go. Solid sailfish bite right there. Nice work on the charter boat, making the customers happy. So the sail fishing has still stayed consistent. Is it as hot as it was a couple of weeks ago? That I'm not sure. But that's if you go out and you're targeting them, they're still around, obviously. So it's good thing to have going on right there. What else is swimming around? Not much more than that for the trolling. Let me see if I got any more pictures going on here that we could show everybody. Oh, so out deep also, we've got a consistent swordfish bite. If you are into sword fishing, had Adam put up a post. Got a nice swordfish. This is a solid catch right here, right there. So sword fishing is consistent. If you're into sword fishing, don't shy away from it. They're out there. And speaking of swordfish, very interesting fact, very interesting post I saw on X. If you are on X, you might have seen this also. This here, give me a minute, I'm going to pull it up. This is a possible world record swordfish caught on fly fishing. First, how he hooked that or managed to see it up on top of the fly reel, that's awesome. So this gentleman here, he is on the chair of the IGFA, and this fish is 59 pounds 5 ounces. It is still under review to see if it is going to set the 20-pound class world record for this species. It's an amazing catch. A swordfish on a fly reel. I mean, that's some great little trivial news for the week. All right, let me see if we got anything else going on, and we're going to move forward in this program. We've got the muttons, wahoo, swordfish, everything looks good. All right, so that's pretty much it for the fishing report. Again, trolling. You're going to run into them. They're still scattered. They haven't showed up in full force, and they possibly won't for another couple months, but they are out there. Wahoo, still a consistent bite. The tuna, if you are trolling, be prepared to get into the blackfin tuna. Kingfish are starting to show up along with the false albacore over the deep reef. And that sailfish bite is still happening. All right, so that's it for our fishing report. Now let's get into some weather. Of course, we all want to know what is going on with our weather. All right, we are going to start out with my favorite go-to website, which is Windy. I will make it big here and make me little. We're going to go, and this is today with our winds down here. We have our color-coded chart. So we're looking at somewhere around, right now, currently in between 5 and 10 miles an hour from the east. Over on the west coast, we have a circulating air down from the Keys, circulating from the east and heading back to the west. And again, it's a little bumpy. It's a little picked up out there in the low teens. Up north right now, currently, Vero Beach area, Sebastian, we've got east winds right around a little bit over 10 miles an hour. So we'll look into tomorrow. Same thing, southeast. Like I said, we're in this drier air now, which is a good thing. Drier air. El Nino is seeming to cut us a break finally, so we'll see what's going on. Tomorrow, southeast winds, same thing, 5 to 10 miles an hour towards Miami. It looks like we got a little spell where it'll pick up in the, let's see what will happen in the afternoon with it. The afternoon, it's going to pick up tomorrow. And yeah, still from the southeast. On your west coast, we've got pretty much a dead zone. Right over around Naples, 10,000 Islands, Chokoloskee, 5 miles an hour. You're pretty calm over in that area. If you're looking to head out, it'll probably turn into a little bit of a bumpy show out there. Thursday, same thing, southeast. Our winds are picking up a little bit. This is and we're looking around in the low teens. Up north a little bit. Here we've got a dead spot again around Cocoa Beach, which is fairly far north. Port St. Lucie tends to calm down at the further north we go. On our west coast tomorrow, we've got a wind blowing from the leeward side of Florida, so it should be fairly laid down out there. But again, it's still in between 5 and 10, close to shore. Down here in Key Largo, it's 10 miles an hour, a little bit more than that. But this shouldn't be bad. Friday, we're looking at picking up into the teens. Gonna pull up. Let's see what happens in the afternoon. Friday afternoon, it starts to let up. Same thing goes for the lower west coast. In the morning, you've got this. These winds are kicking. It's probably kicked up during the night on Thursday, and then it'll let up. Heading into Saturday, we've got these winds still pushing. So this means we've probably got high pressure pushing through. Winds are still pulling in the low teens all the way up, and you can see how they start as they go further north. They start heading, they swing around into the jet stream, and they head off to the east. So the winds will be coming from the west. So up north, you'll have a more laid down chop, and it'll probably turn into a swell at some point. Down off the west coast, same goodness. We got that southeast wind, and you're looking, under 10 mile an hour winds. Probably be a little choppy out there Saturday afternoon. It's looking like it's going to calm down, and we're starting to get a variable wind up north. Around in Palm Beach, it swings up from the south and then wants to head east. And we've got the other side of the state from the west swinging around. We've got a hot mess of air coming up from the Caribbean. Sunday, winds start ripping again up into the mid-teens, pulling up from the Caribbean. West Coast, a little lighter end. Again, same pattern as we head up north. It starts pulling to the west, so that'll lay those seas down Monday. into Monday, it looks like we're going to start trying to pick up here a little bit more. So let's go back and look at our waves now. Our waves are coming. We've got our waves coming from the northeast right now. So we've got a southeast wind, which means we've probably got a northeast swell. And they're down in Miami, we are looking, 1 to 2. Palm Beach County, Broward area, we're looking at 3-footers. Up north a little bit, Sebastian's probably picking up a little bit. Down here, 10,000 Islands, Chokoloskee, it's calm in these areas all the time. That's shallow water. And over here in Naples, Marco Island, same thing. Real calm seas right now. Tomorrow, what happens? Same thing, calm seas over on the west coast. Tri-County area, Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach. And Miami looks a little laid down. As we head further north, you can see we're picking up. But it looks like we're around 3 feet. So the waves are looking like they're going to be sort of friendly throughout the rest of the week. Again, here we go. Thursday's looking even better. Looks like 2-foot seas for Tri-County area. Miami, maybe even less as we head down towards the bay side. There, it's just laid down. Off the Keys, you've got, again, 2 to 3 feet. Nice forecast. A little bumpy, which is good for your fishing. Get out there, the fish won't be hesitating to eat. Friday, we're looking at 3-foot seas coming straight from the east. Off everywhere. A little bumpy out there, but hey, it could be 3 foot, 4 foot, not real bad. But if you got a smaller vessel, you might want to watch out. They'll probably put out a small craft warning for that. Again, west coast, where you're fairly laid down until you head offshore a little bit. Good to go. Saturday, again, we've laid down a little bit back into the 2-foot, 3-foot section for the entire coverage of the state, which is great. Again, 10,000 Islands, Bayside, Marco Island, Naples, they're under a foot. 1 foot or less seas out off Key Largo. We're looking at 2 to 3. So a nice looking weekend out there. Let's see what happens Saturday afternoon with our waves. It's going to lay down as we go into Saturday afternoon. Sunday, same thing, 2 to 3. So that's that's what we're looking at right now for the weather forecast. Before we head out of here, let's look at rain real quick. See if we got any rain going on. So here we are right now. Nothing. Wednesday, nothing. We're looking at dry air, folks. Thursday, nothing. Friday, nothing. Saturday, a little chance down here in the Miami area, but less than 20%. Sunday, again, some offshore showers around noontime. Sunday afternoon, we might have some showers rolling in on the shorelines. So that's what it is. But this is very, very lightly shaded, which is low percentages of sun, low percentages of shower coming up. So there we go. That's for our windy forecast. Now let's look at our actual winds. See what they're gonna say here, real quick. We got our winds. Right now, we're currently looking at today, Tuesday. We got them coming from the east. Like I said, right now, southeast kind of conflicts with what Windy was showing us. Windy's a little bit more accurate. It tends to update consistently, but the wind speeds are consistent. Wednesday, again, southeast winds, 8 miles an hour in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. What are we looking at for our temperature? Looking at partly cloudy in the afternoon tomorrow too. Let's see, we've got Thursday from the east, starts out southeast, shifts to the east, picks up in the night. Remember, we saw that the wind speed was going to pick up into Friday. And then Saturday, it will lay down again. winds from the southeast. So this is going to bring, these southeast winds are good. Again, we might bring in the pelagics. The mahi might swim up with these southeast winds. It'll be a little bumpy out there, but our chance of rain is pretty much, non-existent. Maybe a shower or two, but it's going to be a Florida shower, one of those things where it's raining in my backyard and not in yours. All right, let's head off and let's see what NOAA says real quick. See if they jive with what the rest of the more local folks are saying. NOAA tonight sees 2 to 4 feet southeast winds. Yeah, they're agreeing with what everyone's saying. We'll bring that up bigger. Wednesday, southeast winds 10 to 15. Seas 2 to 3 feet. We got a period of 6 seconds, a moderate period, which is referring to a swell. Wednesday night, Thursday, again, the seas are going to pick up over Thursday night, but should lay down into Friday, and the weekend is looking pretty good. Friday night through Sunday night, south winds, kind of agrees with what we saw in the other report. Seas 2 to 3 feet. So that's what we're getting at. We're looking at a fairly nice weekend coming up, and you should be able to get out. Again, if you're in a smaller boat, just make sure you peek at some sort of webcam or something. Boynton Inlet Cam, BOCA Inlet Cam, Hillsborough Cam, Lake Worth Pier. There's a ton of tools out there for you to actually look at the conditions and make the call, make a good judgment call. All right. So now let's look at our moon phase real quick. See what we got going on. See about our moon phase and what it's going to do to our fishing. So right now we are at a waxing moon. Okay. For those of you who don't know, I like to explain this real quick. Waxing means we are heading towards a full moon. Waning means we are heading away from the full moon. All right. So waxing moon. We are at a crescent moon just now, 7% today. Tomorrow, 14%. Thursday, 23%. Friday, 33%. Saturday, 43%. And Sunday, 53%. So we're looking at about a half moon for the weekend for you guys that get out when you can, which is good. The moon won't be ultra full, which means our critters won't be feeding all night. The bait fishing is, if you're a night fisherman for your bait, it's gonna start getting hard for them gogs under the fuller moon. Now is your time to go out and get goggle eyes in the night if you fish for gogs. Okay, and now let's hit up our last thing, which is going to be our tide chart. Love to know our tides, especially towards the weekends for those folks that only got a day or two to get out during the weekend, like myself. So here we go. Today we are in the morning time, we are rising, which means our tide's coming in. Yeah, can't say that's always a great thing. Tomorrow, remember, tides run on a 12-hour cycle, and they always shift to the right if you're looking at this graphic. So if we're at like mid tide right now, by the end of the week, we're probably going to be at the ebb tide, right in between, at a slack tide. So as you can see, Friday, here we are. Friday, 6:54, we're at the slack tide. So, and then we have our falling tide, which means the tide will be going out. So if you're into fishing those your inlets and stuff, you're going to be an afternoon fishing guy. But regardless, the fish are seeming to bite on either tide as long as you got some water flowing. The wahoo, remember, we've had this wahoo bite where they were biting at the slack tide of the falling tide, which is a good thing. But then again, I had reports of them biting at the slack tide of the incoming tide too. So it's hit or miss. Hopefully you're able to get out there and get into the bite, which is fun and great, and hopefully everyone is going to play it safe this weekend. And just remember, check out those seas. Let me show you real quick, if you don't know about these tools, you're going to want to research it. So I have, this is the one that no, not that one. This is the one that I always look at. I look at the BOCA inlet cam. It gives you several different angles of what's going on. I always tend to look right here at the jetty. If the waves are crashing over that, or out here in the inlet, if it's white capping and stuff, it's probably not going to be good for me to go out. The waves coming in on the beach are okay, but if you can kind of look out there, and it's not too bad. Now, another source that a good group of folks also use is the Boynton inlet cam, which gives you a good this is actually a great shot of the inlet. It shows you if the conditions heading into your inlet are treacherous. So this is the actual shot of the inlet here. Remember, you've got a ton of water traveling through an inlet. So when you're heading out through the inlet, be careful. Looks like we've got some swells coming in. So remember, we had our wind coming from the southeast, and we saw our waves coming from the northeast. That's that swell. So there's your actual inlet, the dangerous inlet. Be careful if you're going in and out of wind. All right, so before we sign off, folks, I just want to invite everybody to make sure they join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report Facebook page. If you are on Facebook, please feel free, send an invite. I'll get you on. You can drop pictures in there if you want to. It does not have to be on the post. You can just literally drop in pictures. Let me pull it up here for you real quick, show you what it looks like. Here we are on the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Looks like this. Everybody's sharing information. You don't have to give up your fishing spots. It'd be nice to know if you say, hey, I caught this stuff here. Right? I caught it in Melbourne. I caught it in Naples. I caught it in Key Largo. Just a little bit of information so that we can keep this report and let folks know what they're getting into. If you want to give any other intel, that's always great. Hey, this is what they're biting. So, and then again, there's some stuff that is just, a no-brainer if you're into fishing and you've been doing it for a little bit. Your deep reef, you don't want to have a planer, it's a sea witch, something behind it, a flash witch, and a bonita strip up top. Get some stuff with some mylar going on, some squirt squids with little mylar trailers, whatever you might. Troll some spoons. Clark spoon always works. Good to go. And of course, if you haven't done it yet and you want to, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right. Oh, Dania. Exactly. Dania has a great pier. Dania has one of the best piers in Florida to fish off of. So that about does it for this show, folks. It's been fun and been informational. Like I said, we had a busy week. The fishery is changing. The reef is coming to life, and so is the reef trolling, the reef bite. Everything's starting to look good. So that about does it, folks. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.